Everybody, Geek Hybrid here, coming to you guys with another video talking about an interesting subject that many folks, close to no one, is going to talk about, and that is, people who don't talk about losses. People who don't talk about losses. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you already know that I share everything. I share my wins, I share my losses, I share days I don't take trades, I share, my break evens, I share all of that stuff, so I share all of my ups and downs. Unlike many people who don't, I don't mind sharing my content this way because, first of all, it's refreshing. So, it's a very down to earth, real perspective. You're not just watching somebody, trade a million shares or trade a million contracts and they make, $50,000 in a day or in a week. You're not getting that from me. You're getting a very transparent, very candid viewpoint on trading as well as, my day to day. So the first thing I want to talk about within this particular series of people who don't talk about losses is the fact that many of these people are afraid of opinion. Now, you're going to get a lot of backlash. Well, I am going to get a lot of backlash for this, or you usually get a lot of resistance with this kind of opinion, but I think a lot of people who are putting their face, putting their business, putting their personal selves and lives out in the open are very concerned about other people's opinions. Apparently I'm not, because I don't care, about what anybody thinks about my trading, what anybody thinks about my losses, my wins. In fact, recently, I've had a couple of comments on my videos with people, telling me, I'm trading too high. I'm trading, I'm going into a position too soon, or I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And, that's part of the reason why I'm doing my content this way in terms of how I'm showing my sessions and stuff, because I invite the opinion. I want people to share their perspectives. I want people to naturally share how they feel about not necessarily my trading, but just about, the whole experience period, and their personal experience and their personal, skill set and things of that nature. I'm going to do what I do, regardless. So, I mean, you could give me all kinds of tips and tell me all kinds of stuff, but I do have a very specific process that I do things. So I'm not necessarily going to be affected by what a person is saying about whether or not my method is working or not. I mean, you'll see for yourself if you're following me and following my day to day. You can see it for yourself. So it's not, it's not anything I'm hiding or anything that I'm trying to be subjective about. It's in my own personal, space. So, that's that. A lot of individuals just afraid of opinion. They're doing little things like, they'll do little things like, they'll do a live stream before the market opens. They want to talk about all these pre-market conditions. They want to talk about, hey, this is what this and that is looking like, this stock, this currency, this whatever asset is looking this way and this asset is looking that way. And they're not actually trading. They're just giving a synopsis of the day as if they know what's going to happen. They may have an idea, but that doesn't help you because the person isn't sitting there trading. They're just sitting there talking about a pre-market forecast. Anybody can do that. And frankly, doing this doesn't really show or prove anything. It's just kind of sharing your fortune telling skills or something. I don't know what the heck, but a lot of people, they do live streams. Now, I do see other individuals who do live stream trading and things of that nature. I personally don't do that because I'm not trying to have any malfunctions going on. There's a lot of delays, a lot of funky stuff going on with live streaming. So that's why I don't do live stream. Otherwise, I definitely would do it. I already do, pre-recorded sessions, and I do commentary behind it. So that's about as close as you're going to get to, experiencing some trades with me. But yeah, that's that. The next thing is, it's definitely not easy. Speaking of sessions, it's definitely not easy filming the sessions. I have plenty of troubleshooting stuff going on, like during my sessions when I'm trying to film. Um, I mean, I've had, Wi-Fi go out. I've had, the recording software kind of act funky and act silly. And it takes a little bit away from your trading. So when you guys are kind of demanding or sort of, being uproar about a person not really sharing their trading or anything like that, be a little bit empathetic, well, at least sympathetic about their process, because it is very difficult to film and trade at the same time. Like it's extremely difficult. It's already difficult trading on your own without sharing anything, just trying to zero in and concentrate. So it's doubly difficult when you're trying to film your sessions and you're trying to share your knowledge or whatever the case is, and you see setups happening, you're trying to concentrate to see what this candle's going to. So it's it's a lot going on while you're trying to film. So be a little bit sympathetic for individuals who are filming their sessions. And I think that when guys are trying to do this stuff and they lose, it's very easy to cancel those losses out. It's easy to just do away with the losses and just show the wins and just be like, you know what, I had a rally today, or I had to do this and that to get this money back, so I'm just going to show all the wins I had and say I made $2,000 a day or made 20 grand, when in reality they made nothing, or they only made a couple of $100. But more importantly, what happens is, I think ultimately, all in all, what's going on is, when guys don't talk about losses, they don't want to come off as ignorant. They want to come off as much of a specialist as possible to you guys. So they don't want to show multiple losses, right? They don't want to show multiple days of losing. They don't want to show all that stuff, because they think it's going to minimize their value as a guru, or minimize their value as someone knowledgeable. Listen, everybody loses trades. It's just at the end of the session, were you in profit? That's the bottom line. Were you in profit at the end of the session? Listen, people who do trading, even the masters, they have moments where they may catch a loss here and there, but it's not about the losses. This isn't the NBA. This isn't the NFL. This is, so it's not about the wins and losses, okay? Because you could risk everything and win, and then risk everything again and then lose, and you lost all your money. So the wins and the losses don't mean anything. It's about how far into profit you ended up being in at the end of the session. If you're in the middle of the session and you took 20 trades, if that last trade put you $2,000 into profit, you made $2,000 that day, okay? Even if you were hit and miss, even if you won 20 and lost 21, at the end of the session, how much money did you make, and were you in the black? That's the bottom line. But I think a lot of these guys, even if they are profiting and things of that nature, they're losing trades here and there, they're more comfortable showing the wins, because they are so insecure about coming off so ignorant and outright being embarrassed, because it's very embarrassing for a lot of these guys to put themselves out there and to put their accounts out there, put their losses out there, it's a very funny feeling. It's already a funny feeling losing on your own when nobody's watching. So when you put yourself out there, these guys don't want to put their business out there, because especially if they lose multiple times, they definitely don't want to put that out there. So so that's why, as far as this part of the video, that's why a lot of these guys don't talk about losses, because the first thing is They're just afraid of opinion. They're afraid of your opinion. They're afraid of looking ignorant, looking foolish, all kinds of stuff. So just keep that in mind when you talk about guys who don't talk about losses.